Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first commentary, and welcome back to Dead Malls. Today, in episode 3, I'm going to be welcoming you guys to the very famous Crossroads Mall in Fort Dodge, Iowa, home to nothing.
I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture. Now I am become death.
Honestly, I was really scared coming here because I didn't know if it was still going to be standing. There are lots of plans to demolish it soon, and many of the inline tenants have been ordered to vacate soon, as the mall will be closing permanently. So right now what you're seeing is the old Sears building. It's demolished now, but that image back in 2010, I think that's just amazing to see how far it's come and how far Sears has fallen. Now we're walking up to the main entrance, and to be honest, I didn't know if it was going to be open or not because of the coronavirus, but the door opened and I was very pleased, to say the least. So immediately upon entering the mall, I was just hit by this amazing smell, like amazing food, and it was warm in there. It was so nice and pleasant, and everything was very clean. I was looking into these empty shops. You can see there's some rust on that chain link fence back there. And all these shops have been ordered to get out, all the ones remaining. And it turns out that amazing smell is this Chinese place right next to that place you just saw me film. That's an old pizza place that is now abandoned. So right now I'm walking down the Sears wing, and everything on this side of the mall is just completely abandoned. There is nothing left in these shops. Everyone's gotten out, or the only ones that were left. There's a Sears hometown right down there, but there's no mall entrance for there. There's a bunch of label scars and everything, and the Sears was demolished, so obviously that entrance right there is bagged up and can't go any further beyond this point. So this mall was built sometime in the late 60s, and it was originally an open air mall, but in the late 80s, all these dates aren't exactly known because this mall has a very vague history. It was closed off, and that's why you can see these looks like street lights just poking up in the middle of the walkways, because those were the original open air street lights for the mall. Had to stop for a quick bathroom break, and unfortunately there were no locks on the stalls, so that sucked. But here's the Yonkers wing. Nowadays it is just nothing. All the shops are closed. There's a Hallmark store on the right side, but they are packing up and leaving. So here I am in the Yonkers wing, and I found this area really interesting because there's a lot of old pictures of old shops that line these walls, and now it seems that they were modernized, but there's still no tenants. Another thing is the Yonkers logo is the retro big font, and the store had 2 entrances to the Yonkers, but now it is completely empty. So when this mall was built, it had 3 anchors: Sears, Yonkers, and JCPenney. And once Sears fell in 2013, they all fell pretty quickly. Yonkers being the next to close, and JCPenney being the most recent closure in 2019. So this wing was actually pretty interesting. They had a lot of weird closed stores that sell labels, like the event center. This random little carriage right there must have been a food cart at one point. There was also some kind of like testing racetrack for RC cars in one of the stores, so I didn't really know what that was. And this store the other store, was packing up from what it looked like and leaving. There's also a restaurant and bar, creative name by the way, which was open still and had a door to the outside, so I'm guessing that place will remain open. Here's the JCPenney, where it used to be, and you can see the label scar right there. So I found this nice spot to chill out while the Dunham Sports employees were giving me some weird looks, and the RC car driver, you can hear him going around with it in the background, so this was an interesting experience. So it's very typical for dead malls to have mall walkers, making their way around, but today there was just no one here. And I filmed this on a Tuesday afternoon, so it's not expected that there's a bunch of people, but for the elderly, there was absolutely no one. So it was at this point that I looked over and there was a mall security guard coming after me. So I left out of this north entrance, and this was absolutely disgusting. There was garbage everywhere and everything was cracked and broken. It was terrible. I'm going to leave you with a news ad that is describing what's going to happen to this mall.
One central Iowa city that serves as a rural shopping hub is moving forward on a proposal to demolish its languishing shopping mall to revitalize retail. KCCI's Chris Gothner tells us what could be in store for Fort Dodge and other cities just like it.
The closure of big box stores like Yonkers and Sears has left the Crossroads Mall here in Fort Dodge mostly empty. On Wednesday, the city took a big step towards completely tearing it down, replacing it with something radically different. Fort Dodge is a retail hub for a wide swath of rural Iowa.
Our retail draw area is over 100,000.
But one of its biggest retail centers, the Crossroads Mall, isn't much of a draw anymore. Many mid-sized communities with mid-range malls are feeling the pain.
Lower-end malls tend to, they're getting out-competed by the internet and Walmart.
So a new proposal would ditch the mall, demolishing it in stages and opening the massive open-air Crossroads Plaza. Fort Dodge held a special council meeting to award $3.6 million in TIF bonds to the project. The idea is to move the site beyond just retail to a destination.
We can bring in some apartments, maybe you bring in some bars and restaurants and entertainment and make it more of a gathering area where there's a plaza. You can have bands, you can have events on a Friday night.
Drake business professor Matthew Mitchell says while brick and mortar won't die, malls need to do this to survive.
Jordan Creek is a great example. I think if you asked Jordan Creek, they want to become a cultural epicenter. The malls that can't change quickly, they're not going to make it.
Nothing's anywhere close to final, but developers hope it could show a new way forward for smaller cities. And city leaders hope it keeps people coming to and staying in Fort Dodge.
Basically, the sky is the limit for us.
In Fort Dodge, Chris Gothner, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
I'm very glad I visited this mall when I did, because I'm sure that in a few months there's going to be nothing here but a pile of rubble. But I believe this mall, with its great lifespan, deserves to go out with a bang. So I'm going to leave you with this legendary track by Echo and the Bunnymen, The Killing Men. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Up in your arms, too late to beg you, or cancel it though I know it must be the killing time. Unwillingly mine. Fate up against your will, through the thick and thin. He will wait until you give yourself to him. In the starlit nights I saw you, so cruelly you kissed me. Your lips a magic world, your sky all hung with jewels. The killing moon will
come too soon. Fate up against your will, through the thick and thin. He will wait until you give yourself to him.